Kojak?
Hey, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing all right, man. What's going on?
I saw your message. Thought I'd swing by, see how you doing.
Oh, I'm doing all right. I'm just drawing now.
Hey.
Figured I'd
Saw your message. Thought I'd swing by, see how you doing. Oh, I hear the audio from your computer.
There we go.
All right. Oh, how you doing with the countdown to Snydercut?
I'll just keep myself occupied right now. It's just it's pretty exciting. It's like, well, hold on. I'll just keep myself occupied right now. Let's see here. It's the first time news. All right, cool. Yeah, I'm just taking it all in right now. Like, I wasn't even sure, like, it's like, it's been, like I said, 5 years in the making. And
I kind of know what you mean. It's been like so long. I'm used to it not coming out that it's kind of almost unbelievable. At the same time, it's like incredible, like miraculous. So I think it's all gonna hit me when I see the film, and then I'm just in the meantime I get moments of excitement, giddiness. So I'm just focusing on my Snydercut Fighter season finale. That's keeping me busy.
Yeah,
away
how's
from
that?
spoilers and everything.
Yeah, you've been like super busy on that, man. Like, how are you like? How do you have like a giant whiteboard yourself, and that you're just like you map out everything? How do you keep track of all that?
Not whiteboard. I do have a whiteboard though. I use that more for temporary things to figure out or whatever. But I use notebooks. It's all scribbled with all these things I gotta do.
That's so. But yeah, you're booking. So that's just kind of how it goes. You're like a booker now. So it's just like,
well, that's kind of the dream with the show. So it's kind of works out. In a way, I'm still using pro wrestling to spread the word in my own way. Just like going to the shows with the sign. So it all works out.
I mean, that's like the rule that everyone always talks is like wrestling is everywhere. If you look for it, pro wrestling is everything. It's like
well, it is to me, but yeah, I'm biased on that, so I believe it.
Because it's like who's going over? Steppenwolf going over is it's who's coming back from injury. Will that be like Superman? It's like
Yeah.
Who's
We got some main events, some matches.
yeah, exactly. Who's making their new debut, and that'll be like the three new people's like BVS was like the laptop Wonder Woman was looking at was the vignettes. So it's like now it's like okay, now we're getting to see them make their big main roster debut, but instead like the booking's like better than like WWE.
Yeah. There's like tramplings on artistic integrity everywhere, but however, as the overall template of storytelling, see if you, I don't know, it depends, but for me, it's like an art, and then there's a lot of in-ring, out-ring storytelling with pro wrestling, and just the progression of like beginning of the show to the end of the show. There's actually some little kind of like cues you have to hit in pro wrestling to convey the story. That's very similar to film, and both help me in either way. One helps the other, and the other helps the other, while being one the break for the other, and the other one's the break for the other. So it's this for me, it's this continuous cycle of film, wrestling, film, wrestling. Comic books are in between because they kind of reflect in both. I've seen Rey Mysterio do a match. He's in a Wolverine outfit or Joker outfit.
The biggest comic fan, Rey Mysterio.
Hell yeah, he loves it all. He doesn't discriminate. I love that.
It's like I would be like, I don't know if they have like a museum in Mexico or like Tijuana, like where like because like he has to have like a giant wall of like all of his costumes. So I'm just like,
that'd be cool if it's in Tijuana. I think he's from Tijuana originally.
Yeah, just like have it there, at least have an exhibit at some point to just be like, let's just like show off all the gear, because it's just like there's Daredevil, WrestleMania 19. I think he did Captain America. He did
and he did Flash as well.
He did, yeah.
Flash is cool because he has those falcons going down the side of his cheek like a beard, but for Flash he moved him to his ear to do the lightning bolt thing. I was like, hey.
Exactly. It was really, I don't know, it was just kind of cool because like on account of how his mask already works, it already kind of fits a lot of things, it's like,
oh yeah, he had a Batman themed one. He even did Avatar, James Cameron's one. That suit was nice. He had a long ass ponytail on top of his mask I'd never seen before. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, I think it was when wasn't that when he won like a championship, like in that triple threat?
I can't remember, but yeah, I'd have to relook.
Yeah, it was like costume changes. Like Batman's gonna have a few. That's almost like, in a way, like Batman's like tailor made for toys, even though he wasn't conceived for such. But it's like there's this, his BVS suit, and then there's like his modified suit, and then there's the tactical suit, and it's just like this guy is like. He's made for toys. He's just like,
exactly, because Ninja Turtles always had like a crazy toy line where you see baseball Raphael and future Samurai and Leonardo. That's my favorite Ninja Turtle toy, future Samurai and Leonardo. That was the best. But those are like kind of crazy aesthetics. They weren't really used, but Batman could actually use this because he needs suits to endure any kind of terrain situation. So his toy line could be canon, no matter how bonkers it may be or not. So. This is great, and I love how BVS emulates that. I think Batman Forever emulated that too a little bit because he had a different kind of suit towards the end.
Yeah, they definitely went. They went hog wild. Like they were like it was because it was so like bright. It was like that 60s Batman, and it's just like with just like a massive budget. So it's just like they were there, and then Batman Forever also kind of like delved into just the costume change because it was like the beginning costume and then the later costume for like tactical. But I don't know, it always felt like the tactical suits they weren't always used for they didn't always feel like Batman didn't always move like he was in a tactical situation. They were just like regular, but he just had a different suit. So it was just kind of funny in that way.
Yeah, I like the tactical suit in BVS because it fit the story.
Yeah, I think I'm curious to see because like the gauntlets when he was blocking like the blast, I'm very curious to like because it's like, all right, that looks like Wonder Woman stuff. So I'm curious, like, what will happen? Like, how does he come up with that?
Oh, that'd be great, because that final tactical suit he has with the goggles, so it's very I want to see him in action so bad with that.
Yeah,
using like mounted parademon guns on whatever base Seven Wolf has designed. I don't know. It's gonna be great. Ah!
And then like you know, because it's also a callback to like Watchmen. You know, it's just kind of like,
yeah,
like a Night Owl. You know,
isn't it like the same goggles?
It may be, because it certainly like hangs on them the same way.
Yeah, because they kind of go in a diagonal, the left and the right lens.
It's see what I've been curious about, because it's like, for those who do not have the advanced screening, because it's like, you know, it's hog wild right now, but it's like, I'm wondering, because that's like in the theatrical cut in Justice, it's like that was like way, you know, that's like at the end, but it's like, it's okay, so that's no longer the end now.
And I didn't hear that. I'm kind of trying to avoid certain things, but it's not spoiling me if I hear tidbits. So
yeah, I mean, it's exciting. I was thinking about how all of it, the lead up, and how we all like kind of like going back to like the first like 2017, and just like, because I remember like everyone was just like a state of confusion. It was just like, what did we just see? Like, you know,
yeah, it felt wrong and off, so many things, and then the more you watch it, the worse it got.
And so like, I think everyone was like kind of waiting for like the DVD to come out, and I was just like,
I was too. That's why I was kind of buying it a little bit to go like, the movie's not that bad. I mean, come on, let's get a special edition release, because I thought that they could do the same thing that they did with the BVS, because that theatrical one held it back, I felt. And I remember watching in theaters and not being as memorized as Man of Steel, but when I saw the Ultimate Edition, it hit that same notes as Man of Steel. It's so crucial how, and then seeing that made me realize how crucial, because okay, Zack Snyder doesn't make pop songs, he makes like progressive rock songs, if we're gonna use music with his films. And if you take any progressive rock song that you like, I don't know, Tool, Led Zeppelin, whatever, Pink Floyd, if you take any of their epic songs, or any song really, and you take out any piece, be it a verse, bridge, chorus, part of it, and then you mix it around, it's not going to flow as smooth, and the message is going to be lost, and it's just going to be a convoluted mess. And I think that's exactly what Justice League ended up being, because that's what they did. Because when you have like a fine-tuned song, poem, or like the Iliad, and then you cut it up, you're actually kind of like doing torture, and it's not the same as it was.
Yeah, it's because it's like you can't adjust one thing without affecting something else. It's like it's kind of like when they added you remember was it the Killing Joke animated, right? And it was like they added that little Batgirl preamble at the beginning.
That bothered me. I love Batgirl, and that didn't make me feel good. No offense if anyone likes it.
That's like but it's true. It's like, it was like, when you do stuff like that, it's like, now it affects the main story, because if Batman doesn't respond, it doesn't seem like he's had like a romance with Batgirl. That's because he didn't. That's because he didn't. And so they put that in there, and like Batman's just like, it looks like he hasn't seen her in years, and that's because as far as like Killing Joke was concerned, he hadn't. And it just like the structure was so like, I mean, when I was in the theater, I was like, I knew it was coming, because I was just like, well, Bruce Timm can't help himself. So it was just like, I was just watching it, waiting for everyone else's reaction. I was like, this is going to be hilarious.
I think Bruce Timm has hit the max of you always, because when he did Gods and Monsters, in the making of, I love watching making ofs. That's like film school, bonus film school for me. Always has been. And when he was saying that, he said, oh my gosh, I always wanted to make Batman a vampire. I feel like he's got these little twisted desires not in a bad way, malicious way,
Right.
but he's got these little hopes just to try and do a different spin on it, just to see how it is. And since he's already given so much and done a lot for the animated representation of these characters, I think he's earned it to take some creative strides, whether they work or not.
Yeah, he's a guy where it's like, I think like after one like a creative like proves himself, you kind of, this is where DC kind of works well. It's like you kind of give certain creators like their own playground, like outside of like a quote main continuity. Because it's like it's like because he kind of did build his own universe, so it's just like, well, you know, he's just like, all right, well, he's kind of gets to play with different ideas. And
I'm glad that he did, because he kind of warmed me up to Zack Snyder's, because even how they did Superman, he wasn't as strong as Reeves Superman, like certain. And I bring this point up because you'll see bullets or whatever hit Reeves Superman, and it doesn't push him back, but you'll see like a minigun, a strong tactical machine gun minigun shoot Cavill Superman, and you know it pushes him back a bit, but it doesn't do any damage. But still, there's that pressure. So it tells me that I think Bruce Timm and Snyder actually toned down the character a bit to make him more lifelike, and actually aren't going as over the top as people assume.
Well, yeah, it's like, and it's more closer to Schuster and Siegel's Superman, because like he was, you know, like in the early 30s, like, he wasn't like super powerful the way he kind of is like now, or like people kind of play fast and loose with his abilities, but he was you know the whole rundown faster and locomotive da 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 da, and it's like, but the thing is, like, you know, he couldn't move the sun, he couldn't pull planets on a chain, you know what I mean? It's like he had to just like he was powerful enough, but like he didn't get the Godzilla treatment where he eventually turned into like you know, fighting monsters of the week. And that's kind of like what Godzilla is now. And
yeah, I could see that totally, actually,
because it's like, instead of like, because like the comment, almost like a criticism, is like Superman is like, you know, they kind of want Superman to be like, he's greater than all of us, and it's just like, well, he's just a guy. But it's like it should really be more of a case, because like he's really like, his thing was social causes. That's really was like Superman's deal. And it's like, now,
yeah, totally. I mean, I love that story when he beat up this one abusive husband.
Yeah, that was the first issue. He just
that like because you know I'm familiar with like my family's been familiar with like domestic violence without getting into details. So as a kid reading that, I was like, oh, that's so cool. I wish someone just like not beat people, but you know, get some abuser to, you know what if not know what it feels like, but that social justice where there's like, oh dang, they totally changed. Not condoning violence, but it just felt really good at the time reading stuff like that, and that made me warm up to Superman. Then, you know, it kind of, the happy-go-lucky great Scott Superman I'm not too keen on, but I know that exists too.
Yeah, it's like, and that was like a mission statement, because I think that's something that like Schuster and Siegel, I think it was Joe Siegel specifically, because like a few years earlier, before Superman came out, when they were like doing other comics, like his dad was like died of a heart attack during like a robbery of his haberdashery. And it's like, and so like a few years later, it comes the story about like a bulletproof man, you know. It's just like the idea of just like, cause it's like, this is a Depression era character, so like,
right,
you know, gun violence, you know, just like scary times, like on the cusp of like World War II, and just it was really like, the art at the time reflect that, as like art always does. It like reflects the period of time that we're in. And sometimes people aren't ready for that, or at least won't make room for the variety for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
that was my favorite part of Superman, the social justice part. But when he went more commercial, like Great Scott, and kind of went on outlandish, tripped out Star Trek missions back in the day, it looked like he kind of changed. And I felt Christopher Reeve Superman is Superman 2.0, and I feel like Henry Cavill Superman is Superman 1.0, or representing that Superman 1.0, the social justice type of Superman. Social justice on like a global scale. I mean, not just to one region, of course. When I say that,
Yeah, it's like, and that was like definitely a deliberate thing because like I think like before the comics code hit, like the editor at the time, like Whitney Ellsworth, like Bob Kane wrote in his book, and like we'd find out in like the hearings of like the trials, it's like there was like this mandate to like all the staff that like basically it was like the comics code before then because Superman was getting popular and he didn't want to have to deal with really didn't want to have to deal with like censors and really upset parents. And he's like, I'm coming after him because it's like Superman's appearing on merchandise. So he's like, here's this edict. Now it's like Superman is no longer, the cops are portrayed in a very specific way. No more death. It's like basically like the characters are like basically became deputized. So like they now work with the cops. Like it became very, very safe while like kind of like abandoning what like brought them to the dance kind of thing.
Right. In a way, I kind of like the theme of MCU Civil War, because you got the heroes like, all right, we need to be under check, we need to sign up, and then I think it was Captain America. He was the one who said, no, then you lose the right to choose. And I think that's kind of what happened with those heroes back then when they went a lot more campy after, with that comics code thing. And I feel like perhaps a lot of people forgot that history, and that's what's being repeated because that's kind of what they did to Justice League. It seems like from what I've seen, they really not just wanted to push a certain narrative, but just to tone it down, so to hold it back for that narrative.
Oh yeah, and then like also money, because like it's because it kind of like because okay, on one hand I understand why some people are like there's interesting byproducts of that kind of period of like okay, like obviously the no killing rule that can create interesting stories. However, if it's like not written smartly, it creates big problems down the road. And then like you got people saying like, well, how effective is Batman really? If like, it's kind of like Looney Tunes, everything resets, like nothing like, like they all come back. Joker always gets out next week, Riddler's on parole. And it's just like, how effective is Gotham? How effective is, you know what I mean? So it's like, it makes Batman look kind of goofy, but it's like,
I never liked that as a kid because it was like, well, it's like the bad guys. It's just weird because I'm also used to stories where the heroes, do whatever it takes to end crime or whatever. But at some point, some stories it feels like they're just trying to uphold the law, which is not bad, of course. But it's just that a lot of these villains have killed and hurt a lot of people under that certain watch and that guideline. Like it didn't stop those people from being killed or hurt.
Yeah, I think they were banking on like because I mean the genre is so big. You have like stuff like The Shadow and Zorro that were doing like serials at the same time. So it was just like, it was like they like, and these were read by all ages. So it wasn't just kids; adults were reading these, and like their publication was like rivaling novels. Like people were reading comics almost as much as they were like going to like see movies. Like it was serious business before Superman even came around. And
yeah, like Marvel, they put out a lot of monster comics. In fact, like The Thing was one of them, and he just carried over.
Just really like out there, kind of wild kind of stories. And yeah, it was just like, it's like of all the genres, like movies, comics, and rock and roll, where we're kind of under attack. And then but comics kind of buckled the most. And it's like it hurt the industry as a whole, but it kind of like benefited it benefited like Marvel and DC because then they became kind of the only games in town. They're
Right.
like we got the superheroes, but no more like or very like light adventure comics. Like the romance novels disappeared. The pulp comics definitely disappeared.
The Western comics disappeared too for a bit.
Yeah, it's interesting, and so seeing those effects, how people view comics today, and how like the executives like view, like how like the Todd Phillips thing with the Joker, they see it as like, okay, Joker is just we're selling pajamas, and Todd Phillips is like, yes, but we also can tell there's variety. Are we not allowed to do that?
Mm-hmm. And he got an Oscar, thank God.
Yeah, it's like, and then like made all that money, but like it's like as another WB lesson, they don't get to share in the fruits of things they don't labor for.
WB is weird. It's like they want prestige, but then they want to sell out at the same time.
It's odd, yeah, because it's like they can have all these things they're looking for. Like they can have like it's like it's like the Streisand effect, like them trying to hide away Zach's work is like bringing more attention to it. It's like
right.
It's like they could.
It's kind of like the Attitude Era with like Vince versus Stone Cold.
Yeah, it's just like you're trying to hold down Stone Cold. Just like no, it's
this is gonna make it more stronger, baby.
And it's like, and now here we have. It's like, and I'm like, I had to be very careful where I look online because it's like, obviously, like we have mutuals that are like seeing things early. And
yeah, I've kind of muted some friends. I didn't unfollow them, block or anything, but I did mute some friends.
I've been like,
I told him about that. I was like, "Yo, hit me up in message because I'm not responding to you for a while."
Like I've been tiptoeing through the timeline, like tiptoeing through. It's like there's gotta be signs, like because I'm like I'd be like I was gonna ask people like, is anyone else looking at their email, just like looking if they get the early thing. It's like because it's gonna be like I almost don't even want to look at the trailer right now. I'm just like I don't want. I'm ready for the thing. Like
I listened to the trailer. I was still a fan of like, all right. So in the '80s, I had these cassette tapes as a kid, and they were just audio, like old school, like a radio show, like The Shadow back in the day. Where it's all audio and they act out a story, but you get cassette tapes of like Power Girl, He-Man, this and that. Well, it wasn't Power Girl. I forgot her name. It was something like a She-Ra knockoff that I had, but I forgot what was name. But it was really good, and it helped me visualize stories. And I listened to a lot of those as a kid. So when I do my own film work, audio just helps. So I've been listening to the audio of the trailer in the car of Zack Snyder's Justice League, and it's cool. Snydercut. I can't wait.
I was like, I was just thinking about like the banners and like just all the stuff like there's the long spot we've all like come through, like the campaigns, the
oh man,
the yeah, it's kind of like just all the people that's like come together and like different people who've gotten to know each other. It's all like it's surreal because like we've been like working so hard to get to that spot, and now it's like it's here. And I'm just like, wow. It's like, and obviously we're like still doing lots of stuff to make sure, because I mean obviously like it's for the most part international. I mean there's still other spots that are like not quite gonna get it like right out the gate. I think that's where like the DVD comes in, but I think I've seen some people say like they won't be surprised at all if when it drops and they see how well they do, like the there's extra effort in getting it just as many places as possible.
Yep. Try and help out where I can, man. That's important. Everyone should see this.
Yeah, it is. It's wild. I was like, this is it. This is really, and that video. Did you see the video of Ray Fisher talking about
I saw the first 10 seconds. As soon as he was into it, I was like, It's getting me too excited. I don't have to stop. I'm happy he likes it, so that tells me I'm gonna like it.
I remember, like,
I'm excited for that Cyborg story. Ever since they released the slate, back then when they said Justice League Part 1 and 2, because back then is when the Snyder mentioned that Cyborg is the heart of the story, and I was thinking, yo, he's like kind of new to Justice League. He's been on Teen Titans this whole time. It was like the New 52. He got booted, promoted up. Wait, no. Wasn't it after Blackest Night? He got promoted to Justice League when Blackest Night was having the brightest day type of thing. That's when he went to Justice League. Never mind. And then New 52 started with him in Justice League. So he's kind of the new guy, but then to say that he's going to be the heart of the film just got my intrigue. Oh.
Yeah, it like lets the audience be like kind of on even footing, because it's like, okay, if like, you know, it's like we're all like getting to know these characters. It's like, okay, like if you don't know who, you know, Cyborg is right off the bat, it's like, okay, it's a new character that isn't Batman or Superman that could, you know, let people like get to know them, because Batman fatigue is real. And you know, it's like the hype from 2016 feels like it's coming back, because it's like when we saw that slate and all those like again, like Green Lantern, Cyborg, which we would have had by now, and it's just like it feels like, what was it, like Mad Max. It feels like hope, you know. Like I'm watching out for David Ayer. I'm just like, what is he gonna do? What is this like? Is he gonna drop some? Because it's like they're gonna, like, he has, like, Zach has an Easter egg of like in that picture for Army of the Dead of Joker's like golden gun from from Suicide Squad.
Yep.
And I think he knows enough. Like, people tagged him enough.
He even has the Snydercut film frames in that vault too.
Yeah, it's just like, and it's like, if he filmed this, and he did film this before he knew he was getting the green light, it's just like that's meta. That's just like, okay.
Can you imagine if maybe Army of the Dead was also possibly could be double as used to hype the movement if we didn't get an announcement?
I mean,
I wouldn't doubt that.
Yeah, like he's very in touch with the fans, and it's just like, yeah, this is, because it's like he like at that point the cat was out of, like, very much out of the bag. Just like, we know he knows, and it's like it's just cool seeing that, like, that reference to it, and just like, okay, this is like, it's like a wink and a nod, and it's just like, yeah, he doesn't, like, he says, like, you know, he does it to, like, share with us and stuff, and it's like, that's cool, but he knows that it gets us hyped and to, like, try even harder. And that's why I just, like, I think that's, like, it was a cool symbiotic thing going, because it's like, on the one hand, it's like, you know, while him and Debbie probably didn't necessarily believe that we were going to that the film was going to come out anytime soon, there was still that hope, because one, he filmed as much as he did, but he kept seeing what we were doing, and like seeing us just push and just create so much noise and capitalize on unique opportunities.
I think it's just great that he was in the trenches with us.
Definitely agree with that. I remember, like, seeing, like, around February, and I think that's when of 2017. That's, I think, when I caught wind of Fiona. I started, because I was just looking around. I was just like, I saw the storyboards, and I was just like, of what came around that time, and I was just like, and then I saw the thing like, I shoot what I draw.
Yes.
That's when I was like, okay, what's going on here?
I know, that's what caught me, bro. Like, I've seen videos around. In fact, the first video I saw was like a Dave Pena video and a couple other things, you know, just mosing around. And then when I went to Twitter, because I don't use my Twitter, because I heard of hashtags, because I heard of the Give Divas a Chance movement for WWE, and that revolutionized and improved the whole WWE experience, in my opinion. and we have way more diverse talent by giving women an equal platform to fight and perform, just as the guys. I thought that was fantastic, and I was like, hey, well, that hashtag worked. Maybe something else is going on for Zack Snyder's director's cut online, and that's when I came across everyone's post, and it kept me going. And I kind of watched, but Fiona's post definitely ignited the fire in me. I mean, all the other videos gave me awareness that there was something out there, but Fiona's narrative and her dedication is what spoke to me and kind of slowly turned me into a lifelong supporter. Because Snydercon, I was like, all right, I'm going pedal to the metal. But before that, I was getting amped up, and being amped up and inspired and motivated, that's very key.
Yeah, it was
I thank her for that every day, even though we don't talk as much.
It's like, I mean, well, she's probably like super busy now. Like it's like
imagine, yeah,
it's
rightfully
like
so.
it's and the thing is just like, who is this? It was because it was like, who is this? Who is this person who's apparently very close to Zach? I was like, who is this? And so like watching now, just like, let's see who this person is. Like I was like, who is this? And she's like, her style speak was very earnest. So that's what like made me tell like, okay, this is, and it was consistent. And I was just like, all right, I'll take that. Yes, if there is like, and just like knowing that like, again, that ultimate cut, I was just like, well, it's like, I was just like, well, what changed before then? Like, surely he'd have something else. And because it's like, and just other people were feeling the same way. And then they were like, and at that point, it's like, we were truly like in like they were like full seeing us as like conspiracy theorist like mode. And and I was just like, and I just remember thinking like, I was thinking of Alien 3 and like David, like I think it was David Fincher, I think who did that. And it was just like,
I think so too.
And I was just like, well, it's not impossible. Like there's a precedent. Like obviously like Blade Runner. So it was like, and Zach has so many director's cuts. And I was just like, all right, let's see what happens here. And that's when I just like looking up like videos and just trying to get a lay of the land, because it was scattered for a while. Like before the account came along to really help like give structure. It was really like, it was everywhere. It was just kind of all over the shop. Like it was kind of the Wild West, and we were all just trying to figure out what is happening.
Man, you saying that just takes me back. I remember those days.
And just
every tidbit was exciting, but at the same time, we were like, I felt like we were at a loss because we had no answer. That was stressful.
And we didn't and like just learning like, okay, how do we, like, we got the basic gist on how to like talk to a like, quote big corporation, but it was just like, how do we curb them when they're like, they've clearly made up their mind to not follow this, like even though we're giving like money. And at that point, like a lot of us didn't even know about, like, we knew this, the Suicide Squad had like reshoots, but we didn't know the nature of all that was going on.
Yeah, and it's always still hard to tell.
And like it's like a crash course. Like, I mean, you know so much about film already, but for like some of the rest of us who had different levels of like understanding, it was like, oh, we have to do a crash course in film, and not only just film, but like the different styles of filmmaking that different artists do. Because like, you know, like Steven Spielberg doesn't, his pipeline isn't the same as Zach's. So, right. And I was only like familiar with like stuff from like an animation standpoint. So like stuff like the Beauty and the Beast, work print that people talked to, like that Jay mentioned. I was like, I've heard of that. Like that makes sense. And so it was just odd. I was like, okay, there's like this weird resistance now and we just didn't know how to talk or like who to talk to, like who do we reach.
But I think how we all did it, just being loud and known, kind of opened those doors for us.
Oh yeah, like, and then like the plane, I think that was like that may have been like the first big thing.
I think the plane was definitely was at Comic-Con, right?
Yeah, and it just like, I think that made us feel like really brazen because we're just like, you know what, like the only way to make this happen is just turn up the volume as loud as humanly possible, and you know, force them to listen, force them to just like hear us out. You know, we're trying to give you money.
Yeah, that's the part, even from a film standpoint, I could not understand of not releasing a completely finished alternate film. That's like a brand new film. You don't have to hire a production to make. And that I couldn't fathom unless, you know, they had a certain thing that they wanted to sell in the long run. Other than that, even with that, I didn't see the harm in like making more money, especially when fans, you know, are throwing money to get your attention. that money could go into your pockets, you know.
Well, right. It like, it also like, it's like a show of good faith to like your would-be customers that, hey, you know, but you know, now that we like once we started learning more about the scope of what was going on, it was like, oh, this wasn't even just about money. It was like they weren't even, yeah, they weren't even planning to be there. Like Emmerich and Sujihara were just like, yeah, we're gonna be gone. Like probably, who cares? No one can tell the difference, which is like showing that they like,
that pisses me off because it seems like they themselves can't tell the difference. It's kind of like you go to a restaurant, you want the chef special, you don't want the store manager to cook you up a sandwich instead of that lasagna.
Right. It's like the store manager just doesn't know how to cook. It's like, you know, it's like, even if he does, I don't want his meal. Like the chef is right
I'm gonna get botulism or something.
Right. It's like the chef is here. Why did you hire him if we're not going to eat the food? And and it's like, yeah, it was just confusing. I think that's what, like, because long term that really starts to wear on people about that starts to really wear down us, because like, I mean, obviously there are times when we were like really like impatient, or people like, you know, people were like, there are cycles where we like, people are like feeling really like kind of down. You know, there's like, okay, what to do, and like, you know, there's like, you know, they're not responding, or you know, like, or just like we'd see hit pieces where they're like clearly avoiding Jay Oliva and Fiona. Like they're just like, huh, this is odd,
right? And even to today, it seems like they're still avoiding. It's like, dang, you guys are like very. It's like a different kind of obsessed stubborn. I don't know. There's probably a word for it. But
yeah, it was like, yeah, but and then like, but it was nice seeing like it was nice seeing people like come up with really unique ideas, and then there were like people who were like part of the Richard Donner cut campaign. You know, Dr. Chris.
My father knew friends who were part of that, like back in the '80s, and I remember that.
Right, and it's like, you know, like the answers to the future, you know, a lot of times are found also in the past, and it was just like, and it's like we were able to like use that to like a weaponized level, and it was just like, it was just, and now knowing that now, and it's like the landscape is like, it is, because it's like they want to like pretend that it's not, that nothing's happened. That's like the execs at the top like almost like want to pretend that like nothing's happening. Like when they had that round table with the different studio execs,
I was so impressive to watch.
They're talking about 300, and it was just like, they were like, and they're just like, it's like we wish we hadn't passed upon the. And Emmerich was so quiet. And he was just like, well, the hard part is saying no. I'm just like,
yo, when he said no, that was my favorite part because everyone had some kind of subtle reaction where they were holding back, but everyone had their own way of reaction. Like, who is this guy? Who the? I feel a lot of producers wish they had Zack Snyder, and then there's a company that has Zack Snyder that doesn't use him, and they're like, "What's that?"
Like it's like, and one of the guys that brought it up was the guy who gave Zack hired him from Dawn of the Dead,
right?
And now he hired him again for what is it, Army of the Dead and Netflix, and now this other stuff. So he's just like. It's just like, you goofball. It's like, yeah. It's just like, he's like, okay, that's you. That's you not making money, but do you, fam. Do you. And everyone else, dude, they were all talking about, these are different studio executives. They have no stake in Warner Brothers. And they're just like, oh man, Zack Snyder? Yes. Yeah, that dude's awesome, man. That dude's awesome.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
And so just as creatives, it's like, because I think it's like this should be like a lesson for all of us. Like it's like recreating things. It's like, okay, we always knew that executives and suits have their own ideas, but it's like they're not like creative. That's why they're hiring us and such. And there's like, it's one of the things where like, okay, everyone has to sometimes learn to get out of their own way.
Right.
And it's just like they know, like they talk Tinseltown talks, and the idea that there's this massive thing that like they are desperate to cover up. And like at this point, I think the Sujihara thing had already happened. So like it's like the fact that it was just like, wow, it's like what is like it's rudderless WB.
It's like they're so guilty of something so harmless and simple and beneficiary for everybody.
And so yeah, it was just like, and the thing is like, I think people like Zack is like he's carried very, very kindly. Like he could, like, because he's made it sound like it's not necessarily NDAs is why he's saying everything, because like obviously like he won't really address anything Jeff Johns related.
Right.
He will say a little tidbit about like, oh, he wrote the thing on the thing. Like that's what he'll say, but like, he won't like, he's like, no, I'm not giving any more details, because it's like he's professional, because he could totally go scorched earth. And I mean, like, I don't think people would blame him. I mean, it may not be the most professional looking thing, but it's he would be well within his right to do so.
And I think he played fair by the rules of the game, with his social media, his posts and all that, which is important because he had to do it. And there was a time I was like, who do I listen to for accurate information? Because I know that there were 2 productions for Justice League, the reshoots and Zack's shoot. And seeing how they did it, they clearly reshot a new film. So a lot of information that was coming out as like so-and-so did a storyboard, someone wrote this is what happened, this is what didn't happen. That it's like information that was true, but it was they didn't specify at times if it was facts coming from the reshoot production, which is John's, and he did a lot of work for that, and the Zack Snyder original one. And so a lot of that was getting mixed up in the information. It was kind of holding us back too, because some people are headstrong on what they know for whatever reason. And Zack posting and clarifying in open on an app, I think was fantastic, because I just listened to my favorite Gin Blossom song from freaking Empire Records as like a motto or like a mantra for how I'm gonna roll with information in the Snydercut movement, which was like, I'll just think everything's cool until I hear it from you. And that like gave me the biggest peace of mind and focus the whole time. If Zack didn't say it, it was unofficial to me.
exactly. It's just wild because it was like we have like because I mean that's like the easiest source, and it's like we all got kind of access, various degrees of access, obviously, but it was just like because it was like it was almost like being in college or like schools. Like okay, everyone like double check your sources, MLA format, just like because it's like everyone has like because it's like who's and they what you touched on like really talks about how like basically the scooper game, how people view it has changed as well. You know, it's just like because before it's like they basically had like the monopoly on insider news kind of thing. Like this is it's like basically when Collider ruled the world and stuff like that, and Rotten Tomatoes were basically like unquestioned.
I never liked Rotten Tomatoes from the beginning.
No, like I remember when like all right, like Mad Max Fury Road like came out, and, like I was super jazzed. I saw that thing like 8 times in theater. And like when I saw the DVD and like I saw that like rated fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, and I was just like I wanted to just it was in Target and I wanted to just snatch that sticker right off the Blu-ray. I was just like get it off. I don't want it near because it's like who needs that kind of like social proof? You know what I mean?
Sometimes it's like, print that on it and I have to use a Sharpie to black it out, which I do.
Yeah, it's just like because it's like it's an aggregate. It's not like what is it? Like Siskel and Ebert. Like even if on it's like it was really the start of like aggregate sites like dictating what like what's quote good. Like can you quantify a film or a film experience down to just like a tomato meter.
Which is weird because everyone has different life experiences, and this is art, and that's what I feel that they don't get. It's like I didn't like them because in the very beginning when I read their review on Shawshank Redemption, I was like, whoa, these guys think they're up there, like what snark. Oh, I was so offended by that. From then on, I never liked them. And also Double, I noticed that fan reviews will be higher and bigger on films that a lot of people actually genuinely love, not without any commercial influence, and they despise that. And I was like, well, it's clearly fresh to the masses, but since your score is so low, it's not qualified as fresh. So then now they're setting the precedent that if you subscribe to them, whatever, your voice is always secondary or even fifth, So how is that like fair and balanced or non-biased or whatever? It's just weird to me.
Yeah, it's like it's really odd because it was like it really like it changes how it almost turned film into like kind of team sports deal where it's just like it's just like instead of like because even though like we're all in the theater together, film is like it's a very like kind of individual kind of experience.
I see it as like going to an art exhibit and you just take your time with the piece.
Yeah, it's like you are like, okay, you're going one-on-one with the piece and what it's communicating and what like we project upon it. And so it's like because it was one of those things where just like I remember when VBS came out and like my friend was like I was working at the theater in like Minneapolis. She was just like, you want to know what the Rotten Tomatoes score was? And I was like, at that point I was like done with Rotten Tomatoes. I was just like, no, I don't want to know. Like I'm just like I already guessed what probably because it's like it was clear to me that like especially at the Man of Steel that like okay Zach is clearly not a media darling with certain people, but it's just like whatever, just like whatever. Like I had a good time. I do remember being kind of bummed out. It was just like this thing is getting like a short run, like especially at our theater. It was like it was getting like it was cut off by like a week by like the film festival, and then Civil War is coming in, and it's just like it did. One, it's impressive. It did as well as it did, going head to head with the Marvel giant, as it were, and it was like it was cut off, like its run was cut off in China, so it was like it did really well going up against like the Disney machine, and it was like a sign of like things to come. And it was just it was well because it was just like it was almost like you weren't allowed to like it. It's just like, oh, you like the Zack Snyder film? That's not allowed. You know, it's like, and people were like writing these weird like quads, like, you know, you saw those weird like hit pieces, and
yeah.
And so it was nice when Snydercut came along. It was just like where is something objective? And so it was nice seeing that our friends across the sea are like creating something really cool. That like, okay, it's a little more objective. It's a little more. It's fair. You know what I mean?
Mm.
It's like, because at that point it was just like I didn't want to hear anything negative about a Zack Snyder film. Like I was just like, you know what? It was like I need the polar opposite right now, and it's like I think a lot of people kind of like needed that. It's like it's not that we couldn't be objective about what we may or may not like of different elements of Zack's films, but it's just like it was too much at the time.
Right, I agree.
So it's now fast forwarding here. It's just like you know, I'm curious like the Cyberman obviously here, but I'm wondering if like there's different unique kind of feelings because like that November 17th deal was like from the Twitter day 2019. That was like it felt like we got it then, even though we didn't know. And so like how did that feel like for you? Did it feel more exciting that day than hearing the announcement like last year?
I think yes, because there was because it's a sign of great hope and more people joining the cause in a time of despair, you know, and that'll always like be huge compared to any victory, because a victory is a victory, you know. That's great, and I'm not downplaying that. It's just that to get to the victory, we needed that first. And seeing the response, I remember my uncle was going to move to go back to live in Sri Lanka, and he was staying with us for like 3 years. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna show you around before you leave. You know, you gotta see Universal Studios. So I was at Universal Studios with him when that dropped in. I was like, hey, I'm by Warner Brothers. Let me make a video on this day. And that's when I did the Warner Brothers release a Snydercut in front of like one of their offices or whatever. But throughout the day, friends were texting me, hitting me, saying, yo, so and so tweeted this, so and so texted this. And I remember I was watching at Universal Studios the visual and audio effects presentation, which is great. I love Universal Studios. People get to learn about the basics of film, right? And just have a good time at the same time and eat expensive food that's originally cheap elsewhere. So when I'm like, I was watching that part and they did the thing about the stunts with fire stunts. I was like, ooh, this is cool. That's when I actually looked at my phone for a second on this little part, and I saw the Gal Gadot release a Snydercut post, and I was like, oh snap!
Frank
is so huge, and I caught up with everybody throughout the day. It was like, man, what a good day.
Because like up until that point, none of them have said anything. Like
right?
Ben was silent. Ben, like, I mean, obviously he had much greater things to deal with in his personal life. So like it was kind of expected of his silence, but like he like basically only Momoa and Fisher and Oliva were saying anything.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like they were all like there's this nervous energy around the whole thing. Like everyone was like no one was saying what Ray is saying now. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was very, you know, it's like, okay, everyone kind of mind your P's and Q's kind of thing. And they were just like, but then seeing that, I was like, when I saw Gal do that, I was just like, okay, something's going on here. And then Ben Affleck did, and it was just like, what's happening? Like it felt like that was just a surreal level of hype, because it wasn't expected. We weren't expecting that.
No, not at all, man.
And so like that was just the fact that learning that they got the call after that, and that Emmerich had to do it, which was just like, well, that's just delicious.
Oh.
It's like Steve Austin in The Rock. It's just like, oh man, this is like or like the Vince McMahon versus Steve Austin. Just like you're wait for all this happen, and then bam, he gets the title. He's got the title shot. You know what I mean? Yes. It's like he overcame Vince McMahon shenanigans, and now he's going to the big dance of WrestleMania.
That's what I was telling everybody. We got the announcement. That was you got your title match at the event, and the event is March 17th or March 18th, depending, when it exactly drops. Because the premiere is a pretty good hint.
Yeah, I was like, because at that point it was like, that was like, there was like, and obviously like people who were like far in the know, like, like the account would like Chris is good.
Anyone who works with Zach will get some tidbits.
And he's like he's dropping these hints, and then like around February, I remember that that In Pursuit of Happiness, like giving him like walking out and like doing a little like after he like got the job in like the film, and it was just like he's like he can't say much, but it was like it felt like after that event we turned a corner in a lot of ways. Some better than others, but and it was just and I was just like, oh man, it's like I just felt I feel like it was like there's too much noise. Like surely at some point, like something's gotta give.
Yeah. Man, this was I remember once I asked an actress who was an actress in the show I really loved, Babylon 5. I had the opportunity by chance to meet her in a place I wouldn't expect to meet her, and I had to say, yo, I really love your work in Babylon 5, blah, blah, blah. It was actress for Lita Alexander, if you're familiar, or anyone listening to us is. And I remember back then I was aspiring to break in the film industry in some shape or form. And I asked her, I was like, hey, obviously you've made a living doing this. And that's all I cared about, was making a living doing what you love. I didn't care about fame, really. I just really want to do what I love to do, right? Just as anybody, I imagine. And I asked her what was the key things, and she told me patience and persistence. So when I was looking at this movement, I was also thinking about that, and with my own film career, but also I added a third P, so I call it the triple three factor: patience, persistence, and passion. Because a lot of things were going on, and I think they were breaking people's spirits, and I want to keep people's passion up. So I thought, and I still think to this day, the best thing I can do with whatever I could do in my little field or whatever is just inspire or hope, not inspire, but hype people up. Keep the spirits alive.
Yeah, and like I would ask, like,
we need more people to get on board. We need be more inviting, and when you get kind of in a selfish type of, granted, it is good to be selfish enough to push your own career and take care of your own, what your own goals are. But when you're in a community of people, you have to be selfless, I think, and more inviting to get a lot of people to the cause. Because bigger army will do more, like the ending of 300, not the climax of 300, which is a few of us getting slaughtered. But it's the end where it's like, yo, because that slaughter to me happened with Justice League, and then Justice League won, and it came to see the light of day first, and at all, period. That should never have happened. That was the bad guys winning that struggle, and then the end of 300, everyone going, yeah, that's the Snydercut movement. And if we're going to use movies as metaphors.
And like, how does that feel for you as a filmmaker? Like, because you have like a particular perspective as like you're also a practitioner, so like,
yeah, it gives me hope, because I couldn't get through just because there's a lot of doors that were shut down, and I'm not beating myself up. I could go at it again. It's just that I ran into debt and I got discouraged. So seeing Snyder, a well-known caliber filmmaker, go through similar issues. I was like, dang, if I could help him, then maybe at least if I don't make it in the future, at least I know I've done a part to help the integrity of filmmaking as a whole, and then I could be okay with that if I stay unknown, or if I get a little piece of work out there that people love, then that'll be all right. So it is, this movie meant a lot, man, and me and people like you means the world to me. So thank you, bro, for being there.
Yeah, I mean, like it's meeting people like you has been like great, and like it's been really inspiring, like seeing all the different like stories and just like the scope of where everyone comes from.
Yeah, all these walks of life, man. It's something.
Right? Like literally international. It's like it feels small on Twitter or on social media. So it's kind of easy to forget just how much space this encompasses. I mean, like from Malaysia to India to, you know, UK to Brazil, you know, the sirens are down there. It's like, and obviously more places. Obviously, like, you know, there's a big contingent in India.
I swear we have penguins in Antarctica who want the Snydercut too, man. That's how
I mean, dude, it's like, and I think this is like, it's been like a beacon, because like I'm seeing people online saying like, hey, we're in X country. I saw one saying like, hey, we're in Cameroon, you know, South Africa. Like, what's like, you know, we're trying to get to see it too, and it's like it's led people like that, the little Zots like, you know, broadcast, you are not alone. You know, it's like, and it's really
but we're
cool.
more nicer. We're more like the Michael Jackson song, "You Are Not Alone."
Yeah, exactly. We're not holding the world at hostage.
Yeah, no,
it didn't come to that. So we didn't have to go that far.
Never. We are the good guys. And we are the rebel alliance against the evil empire.
It's like, it's kind of like when a band, like when you sing like a cool band, like that's like kind of like local in the state or like a region, and then it's just like, okay, it's gonna get bigger. When it blows up, it's like, it's kind of like it's about to fly the nest, and it's like, okay, now it's like now everyone's sharing it. So it's like, because it's gonna get bigger, and we're gonna see a lot of different people. Like it's good. I feel like it's gonna get really massive.
I want to see more different people fall in love with this and, you know, ride hard for it. You know, that's gonna be great. I can't wait. The new people falling in love with this film, you know. And I even see some people who were skeptical but not malicious turn page and have a lot of love for this, and that's cool, because, you know, the whole thing about this is to open eyes, open hearts. Some people are a little too cruel and like saying, oh, but you said this back then, like, yeah, but then when they go out and say, yeah, I apologize, actually, you know, grew on me, you know, when they say stuff like that, it's cool, it's sincere. I like that positive change.
Yeah, that's definitely the big
phony baloney stuff.
Yeah, no, like a sincere, like, see, the apology is the big thing, where it's like, okay, I was wrong. It's like you don't lose anything by like saying that. It's like if you take a wrong turn on the way to the corner store, like ideally you don't have like a mental breakdown. It's just like, okay, you know what, wrong turn. All right, and like if you've been like out of pocket, it's like it's only natural to be like, okay, you know what, I was wrong, and obviously not everyone in access journalism feels that same way. What do you think about the cognitive dissonance from like the press that like regarding this film since it was announced and its upcoming release?
Man, I'm glad their narrative has changed. Most of them. I really don't trust the press too much, because there's too much commercial revenue made in that industry to where I just can't trust them. I just kind of want them to say, hey, here's the movie coming out, it's this and this, but, you know, there's a part where it gets opinionated, and that part feels thought, if it's not like from a person. You know, I don't like, again, it goes more to the Rotten Tomatoes part. If there's a press or an organization or a group, magazine, whatever, where it's like a group of individuals, you know, laying the law, that seems more cultish. I like, even if it's negative or whatever, I like a personal one-on-one like review, if I would care enough, you know, because the best review is your own. But I just don't trust the media in general, no matter what, if it's good or bad. Just because it can be good one day, but then bought out later. So
Right.
I just appreciate anything that's positive.
Yeah, it's like, you have people like going on rants, having a meltdown on lives, and like how they worked hard to be a Star Wars fan. And
see, that's weird to me. It's like if you're a fan, it's a celebration of what you love. You know, I understand working hard to help something or build something or see something to fruition. But if you're just waving a flag saying I'm a big fan, I mean, that's what we all do. But saying that that's what you worked hard and you deserve something in return, then I feel like someone's probably not really a fan of it. They're a fan of rewards of it. They're not really. It feels a little bit more selfish desire right there.
Joining us live in the studio, the gentleman of the hour,
Udis.
the architect.
What's up, boys? My daughter
I see you, man. I see you.
Outside there a second ago.
Yeah,
I'm recording some matches and just
you can't see my cat
here.
Oh man. How's it go? Well, thanks for gracing us with your presence. I knew it was a family night, so it's like, all right, well, family's important, so it's all good.
I thought there was going to be some like hentai too. So
I mean, there was a 44. Maybe that was he won. I said maybe. That was my kind of like try to kind of draw in. It's like that's the break glass in case of emergency. And it's just like, look, if this doesn't work, there's only one thing left to do.
Hey, Koj, what's up?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Hey, Tim. Hey, you get early access too, Tim?
Nah, I got early access to my computer. I didn't see anything.
What early access? Good. Which one? What's going on? The one today or the Monday one?
Monday, yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm asking. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird because it seems like the invites are kind of being staggered. Because like one person, like I've seen some people got some yesterday that's for today, and it's just like, wow, these are really,
what?
Yeah, like
dude.
I heard some that got it yesterday for today. I got the one from Monday.
Clean up.
Monday. Oh, this past one. Oh. Shit. I gotta fix this. Sorry, I'm doing something else.
Hello?
Yep.
Hello?
Yeah, you're there.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So what is StreamYard?
It's like a thing that's like basically a way to like live stream, but like streamlined, I guess. Like I saw, like it seems to allow multiple people. The Gun Show.
You like that?
I like it. I use StreamYard.
Where are you? Damien. Hey, Damien.
Hey,
how are you, man?
Hi, good day, everybody.
How are you doing over there, brother?
I'm fine, thank you. See, let me just drop in. I see the thing in the Watchmen chat. So I say, let me just drop in and see what's cooking up. You know what you're cooking up.
You were looking for hentai too, huh? I got
you guys in your little pens. Oh my god.
Oh my word. 44. Oh Lord, 44. This is 44. Boy.
That's
introducing everyone to hentai now. Is that the thing?
That's my only fan.
I just watch my little hentai thing on occasion.
Oh.
I'm saving an only
missus,
fan.
Bro? Where's the missus?
Nah, she upstairs sleeping.
Okay, don't get in trouble.
Nah, she don't have a problem. She see me watching it. It's not a problem.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, not a problem.
I mean, it's kind of hard to get offended. Some of it's just so hilarious. It's kind of brilliant in this a funny way. I'm remembering some episodes of some stuff I've seen.
I see some real freaky stuff like Angel Blade and Black Bible.
Oh, Black Bible, I hear is crazy.
Yeah, freaky stuff and it have ones with tentacles
Oh
Yeah,
well,
this
on a
movie's kinda cool.
non-tentacle related note,
Really?
we were talking about invites. Like people are still getting like kind of
Holy shit!
invites to like like early screenings. Did you get any, Damien? Or
No, I didn't get any. If I did, I'll let you all know. But I didn't get. I am happy for those people who got in. I think we all. I mean, it's a victory for the fans, right? I mean, don't matter what side of the fandom is. I mean, I don't mean. At the same time, I don't care for the Queens and them. But at the same time, I'm glad that they get in. Um, but I also glad I'm happy for even happier for those people on our side, like you, Jeff. I see you got in, and congratulations, man.
I did,
I'm real
brother.
happy. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man, I'm
and-
so glad they listened to. Got a few of us. They got a few of us, man. This side of this little corner of the fandom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
The one
Yeah.
we bring all the hype.
Actually, Jeff.
That's
Jeff.
right.
This is the first time I actually chatting with you.
Oh, cool.
Actually, in video, yeah. So it's not actually nice to actually meet you. Nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
I've known you for 3 years. Are you kidding?
Yes. Remember when I could tell you one any time. I think it was probably the first time I actually. There was a time when you wanted to go to the San Diego Comic Con, and you was trying to find out who it was that you needed to link up with. So I had linked up with the Nerd Queens at the time.
Yeah, I did meet the Nerd Queens and
Yeah, that
I
was
met them the same weekend you met them too, huh?
That's right, brother.
Yeah, that
Me
was
and
when
Koj met up there too, though. So
yeah, that was
Hey,
when
remember when I
the
came up
fandom
to,
was born.
Remember I came to the hotel and then I had to move crap from my car into the trunk and open the trunk, and I saw my sign and I lifted it up. I was like, yeah, I forgot I had this here. And everyone they're all like, oh, put it away. I was like, no. Release the Snydercut. Oh man, I remember that.
They did say that. They were embarrassed.
I wasn't. I don't care. I'm
They
like,
were there for
Snydercut him around.
dude.
Yeah.
I wish I didn't
yeah,
go
my
into
car
Hall
was
H at
released
all,
Snydercut.
man. Hall H was the gayest shit in the world.
it's like it's not like
Oh god.
so
That's funny as
Jeff's
hell.
on one. Jeff's feeling a certain kind of way right now.
I'm
But to me, that word isn't bad. Just be careful.
no, I don't mean it like that. No.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's just a disclaimer so the audience knows.
Oh, is this
This is a live
people
stream.
watching it? Are you kidding?
Yes, Jeff.
Yes,
but it's gonna be on the replay, so I'm just gonna put the replay of something like
Well, I'm an hour and 25 minutes in, edit. I don't mean it like that at all, dude.
I know you don't. That's why I had to bring it up.
Not even.
You had to put bleep.
Man.
I'm
Otherwise,
from
we
the
would not be
80s,
friends.
so we had
There's
slang
a-
back in the 80s. I don't know. I guess they don't have it now, but whatever.
It's a different era, man. You know, crazy.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I'm
We're
glad
not
I
young
didn't keep going then.
There was a comedian in Trinidad. Well, he did a stand up where every curse word he replaced with bleep. So when they reach the spot when Jeff make the comment, he just put bleep.
See, I thought you were talking about George Carlin in like the 70s, which you can't see on TV.
I like George
I like
Carlin.
that one. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's like at the time, it's just like because I think Ben was there too. I think for that San Diego
for
Comic-Con,
Comic-Con?
right? Yeah,
Yeah, he
you guys-
was. I wish I met him. You just didn't have time. He was on the other side where me and Jeff and our homies and my brother were.
Okay.
Escobar was
Doing
there
an
too.
impression.
What?
I was doing an impression just now. I don't know if I pulled it off. Let's see.
Oh, I didn't see it. Do it again.
Did it come through?
I mean,
I
I
didn't
saw
see
you looking at it, but I didn't.
Yeah, see, you see near what?
That's how you look.
And it was just like, yeah, it was
Okay.
we're just,
What's that?
I'm just being a
Jeff.
shitty guy.
oh,
Oh Lord, have mercy.
Is this a PG too or what?
I mean, I put it as like, who knows? I was like, whoever sees it, it's an all ages affair.
Oh, okay, all right, all ages. Wait,
Yeah, but is all ages are fair in your joint hentai?
Oh, yeah.
Wait,
No.
Japan plays by different rules, so I guess. But going back to like the we were talking about like rivers, like from the invites to like how we got here. You know what I mean? Because it was like it's a long road. You know what I mean? It was just like 5 years. It felt like just 2017, not too long ago, and now it's like 6 days away for the rest.
Yeah, crazy boy. It could just imagine that. I mean, for me, I mean, people. I mean, I would talk to people on my end about the Snydercut. I think before the actual announcement. I think and people was like, "Wait, where's that Batman versus Superman wasn't good," and you know, I get a lot of pushback, you know. Right, but now that the movie coming out, you know, people curious, you know, and they even going back and watch Batman vs Superman, and some of them even saying, why Warner Bros. Didn't release this version instead, you know? And I mean, it's just a relief, you know. And you know, I saw Ray Fisher, giving his non-spoiler review. I mean, according to the lady, Warner Brothers can't no see water to wash Warner Brothers after this. They're gonna look, according to Abunaz, they're going to lose their jobs.
Exactly.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, they're going to lose their jobs.
So they were behind. At least they're behind the BVS remaster. So that's pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe that's.
So I think
I
they're
think
trying to. I think they're trying to save their asses, but who knows?
Too late.
Maybe it's too late.
They can save their asses just by saying, Zack Snyder, our condolences for your loss, and we are sorry for everything. We got you now. Thank you, or whatever.
So then, because then they'll have to apologize. They have to apologize to Ben Affleck. They have to apologize to Rick Famuyiwa, right?
I would like to see about 30, 40 million maybe to FP. That'd be cool.
AFSP, yeah. They need to take out of their own pockets, not out of Warner Brothers coffers. You understand?
Yeah.
You understand? And Hamada needs to come out and apologize to everyone, including Snyder and the fans, because at the end of the day, is I mean, we are the ones that won this thing and spending we money behind it. So why deny us? You understand?
I don't mind. I think what we did was great.
Yeah.
So we turned their evil into good, and that's pretty powerful, man.
As a true martial arts technique.
Like it's like philosophical judo, and it's like thing is like we've been able to spin off into other things. Like it's like the ASFP thing, like splintered off. Like you know, there's things for people who are doing like fundraisers for like different charities across different countries. Like Lena Deep's doing some stuff for like mothers and art schools. Awesome. And it's like it's become a life of its own. I was saying like to like Koji, it's like a band that like we know underground, but like once it starts getting bigger, it's like it's gonna take on a life of its own. And I think we'll see that in the charitable wing of things. It's just gonna like it's like getting bigger out of it. It's not the basement band anymore. It's gonna be now. It's like okay, now it's showing up at First Ave. It's doing other places, and it's like it's a really beautiful thing to see.
Yes, man. Yep. Yeah, this fandom really push the boundaries of what broke the boundaries of what a fandom should actually do, you know, and that's why they hate us. they hate us and they hate Zack Snyder. So I rather they continue hating us, but we will continue doing what we're doing. And this movie coming out is vindication. I just happy. Right now, it's a word to describe how I'm feeling, boy. Why? I can't wait. I can't wait. I see they drop another TV spot with Darkseid. Wow.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. I'm not watching it.
No,
I avoided that one. It's like too much
there's
at
a new
this point.
one today, dude.
All right, I'm not talking about. I'm not going to mention anything else. Then. Good.
The new one today is. Yeah.
There's a new one today.
Yeah, man. I'm
not looking. It's like we were like.
I'm not ready.
Hamad said. I saw Hamad on Twitter. He said
nobody
I'm
is
not
ready.
That crap.
Dude, I was watching like a Mortal Kombat live stream on Twitch, and like I saw like one come on there, and I was just like, I'm excited, but at the same time, I'm just like, I'm ready to just see the film now. Like I'm good on teasers.
I'm already sold.
Yeah.
So
hey, Koj, where's your beautiful face? Come on, you ain't
right
got your
here,
mask
baby.
candy?
I got my mask candy.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I do. No, I'm working on Snydercut Fighter stuff as we speak. So.
Oh, okay. So you're sweating over there. I got you.
Yeah, very much so. Especially when your character shows up. Oh my gosh.
Hey, I look just like him now, don't I?
Actually, I had to update the hair to fit your hair got longer, so I had to make the hair longer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Where is it? That's
Hey.
You're gonna be
Dang,
the dude in no
fast,
time.
man. Didn't you like shave it like this summer?
Yeah, I did.
Whoa.
That was fun, dude.
Okay.
That was a good video too, man.
Well, you should see the other video I made while it made that concurrently.
Excuse me, mister.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's like, you're making that film, the short film. How's that going?
Yeah, it's not short enough, that's for sure. I keep adding to it and keep changing it. And
okay.
Is it going to be a film by the time you're done?
Like yeah, maybe. I really wanted to be able to submit it for short film stuff, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. I think it'll be too long. But who knows?
Wait, what's the runtime approximately?
I don't know yet.
Because it depends. Depending on some film. Depending on.
Still writing that thing. Go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, and a half?
No, depending on some what is it? Festivals or whatever. Sometimes their short film length it varies. So
I think
I'd look
45 minutes is what I'm.
But either way, an independent film can go anywhere. Just either full film or short film. That's all. Just changes the category.
God dang, dude! 2 days. So, who was the first person that you met in the Snydercut movement that you talk to regularly still?
The first person? Me, it's Andy Escobar.
Nice! Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
oh,
we're
in
still
person.
friends.
Oh, well.
He's the first one I met at SnyderCon. Everyone else was just by online.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You guys both went. I did not get to go. My son had a archery tournament that weekend.
Ooh, archery, nice.
I'm not missing that, so.
No,
is he playing Green Arrow?
No.
He's the Blue Arrow.
I think it's Charlie Who man? What's his last name? Is it Who man?
Who it is? Something like that. It's like, he's I think if we spam the question enough, we'll get a response.
We'll get one, sure. Maybe not the one we want.
Right, it's like I remember
you gotta love the passion. You gotta love the passion of some of these people.
Oh yeah, like his comment section is a trip. Like it is a legitimate trip. We see it, just like, oh man, but the passion is real, like you said. I
like it. I like how he handles it. It's pretty nice. He's pretty, even though he gets upset with it, he's chill about it too. Still, It's not like he cancels Vero on himself or whatever. He still shows up and he still talks, and that's pretty cool of him.
That's what's up.
It's like I think
sorry about that.
I think who was the because I was just kind of like floating around. How about you, Damien? Who was like the first person like or you consistently talk to?
Consistently, well, I'm not sure, but I think it had to be either Laurel or
Nice. That's the name.
Yeah, right. I think
I remember that one.
Also, yeah, he's from
Bigger
he's an
Tim.
African guy who lives in Ukraine.
That's for the OnlyFans, Jeff.
Yeah, and I think
that's wild, dude. African
Israel.
guy that lives in the Ukraine. That's wild.
Yeah, Laurel.
Yeah,
I think you all interacted with him a few times already.
absolutely.
Probably just in passing, you know. Yeah, Laurel.
Yep. We might have.
Yeah.
You know.
And I think well, Joker Fleck and Bashar. Yeah, well, I haven't seen Bashar on Twitter a while now, but Joker Fleck.
Joker Fleck. He got some Zach crack early on, man. I remember when he's pretty wild to get some Zach crack. I love it.
It was a period where like any question he asked Zach would like get a response. And they're just like
good questions, I guess.
Yeah, they're just like one or the other, just like win the lottery sort of deal. And like,
it's better than my questions. I remember I asked Zach once for his like sand sculptures, like, do you use a spoon or a spork? Yeah, definitely not getting a response there. Right. Well, I wasn't trying. I was actually genuinely concerned, but I don't think I would ever get a response.
Definitely
probably like, I'm not telling you my sport techniques.
Oh my god!
Oh, when he went on the beach, I think I remember that.
Oh
yeah,
because those are really good. And I was like, hey,
he did his sand sculpture, yeah.
So one of those was just off. He didn't do nothing. He just felt it, and it was like a beached whale almost with this huge ridge, almost like a mountain whale. Like it had a ridge line, and it was really cool. I forget what they call that kind of art where you just feel it. I wish we had an artist here that would.
Well, usually in Lightroom we call it free.
Sadly, we don't know any, man. I don't know.
Oh no, Tim, you know everybody. What are you doing?
I'll look it up. Maybe Freeform is a good.
But because I think there was like a picture where he did like he had his own like there's like video where, like he took basically this tarp, this cloth to the beach on this like clothesline on the beach and like he was slow motion caving. It's just like
the cave.
He's like even like just a sheet. It looks like a cape. It's just like this guy's got it.
That was so yeah. If you think back then, that was probably right around the time. I bet you he used that footage for something too.
Oh, represent. Yeah,
dude, like, this guy's light years ahead of us. Like, I try to keep up with him, but dude, and half my shit is just guesses. I'm only faking when I get it right.
I think that's a lot. I think that's a lot of people. I think there's a lot of people who are like, no, I know what he's doing. It's just like, no, you don't. It's like it's fun because like you'll have like posts where it's literally just bread that he's posted like made fresh bread, and then it's like, what is the meaning? It's like he's trained us.
I remember that.
He's trained us well.
Oh my god! Oh good. You remember the turkey? You all remember the turkey?
Yeah.
At least what? Something about some minutes. How much minutes? At least 3 hours or 3 hours or some kind of thing. Some kind of thing like that.
It was Thanksgiving.
214. The whole 214 angle. Yeah, I remember that.
Now, I think that one. I think he was giving us a hint. I think for that one, he was. Yes. I think he was like actually like he plays coy, but I think he knew like, oh, okay, now this is fun with the slow dolly cam pan into the turkey. It's like,
yeah,
it's all film.
Why is that turkey? Oh, we could make a turkey look so epic. That's just not fair, man. And I mean, you have your turkey home, and it's just like it's just a turkey, but he makes a turkey look more than what it is. Why? Snyder, it's not fair. You're not playing fair. Everybody, I think I understand now why people hate him. You know?
Why is that?
You see, thing is, your problem is Snyder raising the bar too high.
Sure.
You understand? You see, Snyder. You see,
evolution always wins.
Yeah.
I have the check.
Yeah, that's not because I mean some of these people in Hollywood, and they're watching Snyder and saying, boy, if this man continue making movies, people might want to watch what I'm making. You understand? So we had to group together and say, here was the scene. His movies are crap. You understand? So at least we could get a play. You understand? There's a saying, 10,000 Frenchmen could never be wrong. I mean, it's bullshit, but you understand where I'm going with this, right? At the end of the day, they having a hard time with Snyder since that man make Dawn of the Dead and 300, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think Toby Emmerich is probably one of them, and he probably decided, here was you see this man gonna be trouble. You understand? And when he made Sucker Punch, right, and the way how they edited Sucker Punch, that was bad. Had they put on the full movie, it would have been hearing something different. You understand?
I
But
don't know why they didn't.
You're hearing all sorts of narrative about he can make a movie, you know, all because you see that first experience. I blame Warner Brothers for denying him that able to give people that, you know, to give people that good first experience. And it read said with Batman versus Superman, that was the biggest howler, right? And somebody, and I to this day I believe Jeff Johns and Kevin Feige was in league to they leak the man all the man plans, because recently you saw these storyboards again. You know what I mean? We saw it before, right? But yeah, I mean they leak all the man work, and Marvel make billions of dollars off his movies. So my thing is this. All right, if you want to get a Marvel fan real mad, tell him in Civil War, Endgame, and Infinity War is Snyder movies. let me see what they go say. Yeah, because they rob us. You understand that those storylines were supposed to be Snyder's, right? They mess up Snyder work. So they could run wild, right? Look what they did to David Ayer. You understand? I mean, he's still reeling from that, right? He hasn't. What was the movie? What other movie David Ayer did after that?
Snow, Steam, Iron.
No, David Ayer did Bright.
Yeah, David Ayer.
Oh, David Ayer, Tax Collector.
No. He went to Netflix to do Bright first.
Oh, right, yeah.
Right, you see?
Tax Collector was great.
Right? The thing is, and Warner Brothers, you see, Warner Brothers they not allow it. They used to be a director friendly studio. No, they gonna against that. They is according to a corporate I said that corporate logo movies. You understand? But you don't You understand? You want to feel the director presence in the movie, his touch. You understand? And Snyder, you see, thing is the thing is it's just laziness. You understand? You know, people must just you must just satisfy with just bare minimum. That is what they're telling you, right? You just be okay with bare minimum, and you could go along with your life for that. You understand? And that's fair. If you could, if it, it's like telling Michael Jackson not to make Thriller. You understand?
He's heard that
right?
too, or he heard that back in the day too.
Well, it's like it's also just also just a matter of just like basic like not just on basic business, but also just like basic kind of like trust in like your work, like just run your own kind of race. It's like it's like they're like follow the money, kind of thing where it's like, look, you see that his stuff is making lots of money, also that he's helping get Superman's films back, like because in film Superman wasn't the idea is supposed to be like this big box office thing of just like Superman's house was not in order. Superman was not a draw in the theaters.
Exactly.
It was just kind of rudderless at the time, and so it seems like interesting how people like forget that, like, hey, you do realize, for those who love the Dark Knight trilogy, you realize that that similar hands are involved in the pot. Like, this is what's going on here. It was a wild period. It's like seeing, because it's like now that kind of attitude, it isn't strong now. It's like I've noticed it's harder for people to get away with just like not knowing what they're talking about in regards to film than it was before. It's like you can't just say, like, oh, films don't like everything, so X, Y, and Z is how films work, or studios will always do what's best by the creatives, or that kind of thing, or what studios will or not do.
That's what they want you to believe, so you buy whatever they put out first.
Yeah, and it's like we're learning now, just like, okay, yeah, no, now they're getting called on, they're getting fact checked, and a lot of them don't like it. They call it harassment. Just like, what do you mean? Just like, well, no, this is how journalism works. When you make a false statement,
good example is P.S. Morgan,
right? It's like, things got to be accounted for. So it's like it's good seeing that fans feeling like they have a voice once again, and like in the conversation of these things. Because for a while it just didn't feel like, if you didn't have a blog, if you didn't have X, Y, and Z, or X amount of viewers, it's like you didn't, like, your statement didn't matter. And so everyone coming together and forced, like, really, like, I think it helped people find their voice again,
Here's a tweet from, I think it's Joker Fleck. It says, yeah, it's got to be. My favorite moment in Zack Snyder's Justice League will be when Bruce talks about burying his dick in Lois.
I was seriously thinking some like Death in the Family, and then you went back to the hentai.
It's like, it's like I'd say, Jeff was on that for like would feel like a year. It's just, I was just like,
yeah,
wow.
Yeah, I'm bummed, man.
And it turns out just like when he said, just like, well, dang God, Jeff was right. Damn, that was a thing. That was a thing.
Yeah. Clay, I mean, I was told.
Oh, Jeff with the scoops. Like,
that was back in what? That was back in what?
That was an old scoop, though, right?
March.
Okay, you say that nobody that storyline.
It was a thing.
Here's the thing. It's like
yeah, it came out on Vanity Fair.
It's like
lately.
When this thing does really well, it's like, because like, look, they're clearly like AT&T's all in on Zach's idea. So it's weird. He can kind of pivot wherever he wants, and he's clearly got new boards. So it depends on what he's kind of feeling. Because I'm guessing he would want more creative freedom if he were to entertain the idea of coming back. So it's like we would say it's gone. I'm like, well, maybe it depends. It depends. It depends what's going. Because if they give him like Army of the Dead blank check, Zach can kind of do whatever he feels.
Netflix likes handing those out though, especially to Zack fucking Snyder.
Well, it's like they like him. It's like the same guy who hired him to do Dawn of the Dead. He's head of Netflix. He signed him on for Army of the Dead. So it's just like Zach's got all sorts of friends that aren't WB.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he does.
I want I think we could still get Captain Boomerang, because I mean, like, basically it sounds like, look, they're going one way, he's going another way, and he's just like, because it's just like, it was like depending on what, because like there's new, I don't know who they cast Barry's mother in like the Flash movie. And so I'm like, what are the odds Zach didn't cast? He might have cast his own Barry's mother. Like, there's still so much we don't know.
I don't think he was going to go there. I think he was going there. That would be kind of redundant if he's going there with Ray,
Oh, yeah. Right.
I don't know. But I don't know, man. I'm glad they stayed away from Zach's characters, really, and dropped out Manhattan. I'm glad they did that.
Oh, wait, what? Like he was going to be in there?
Well, it said that he is no longer attached to the film, so they made it official that he wasn't. I don't know if he was. I guess there was assumptions made because he was. Zach did a lot. Zach did a lot, man. He's a smart guy.
Yeah,
he did a lot. He got all the people. He got all his chess pieces in the right spots, and then just waited for their move.
That explains. I think that may explain the tarot card thing that he put the 7. I'm not sure we got a clear answer on that. I feel like we have. I just didn't pick it up. It's because it's like, yeah, you're right, Jeff. He was like, that would have been left for Rick's Flash movie, because he said he wasn't gonna. He was just doing a prototype suit. He was giving everyone a jumping off point, but he wasn't trying to step on anyone's toes. And then they stepped on his feet.
So maybe there was a woman in it. I don't know, or mom. She won't be in it very long, though.
That's what cameos are for. It's it's like it seems, yeah, it's like this is like I'm trying to like do everything but think about like the film, because I'm like, this thing is like feeling like Sonic the Hedgehog tapping his foot down, just like, well, what else is in there? It's 4 hours. It's like there's like I'm glad I can't predict everything that's going on. That makes me very happy.
Yeah.
I feel you on that.
I mean, like, it's like
I want to be entertained.
I mean, yeah, it's like, predictably it can be fine in certain spots when done right, but it's like, this is like, and oh man, like they're gonna, like, someone's gonna have to. I'm expecting probably, like, it's gonna go. I don't think WB's gonna like admit they were wrong. I think they're gonna be like, we're super thrilled for Zach doing well, and we look forward to do. They're like, because like they're not gonna admit that like they messed up. So it's gonna be like the apology will be the congratulations.
I don't want the congratulations. You understand? Too late for that. Yeah, too late for that.
I never wanted it.
Because imagine, no. You see, you all talk about Superman a while ago. Anybody, I don't know if Warner Brothers hates Superman. You understand? But to put out a movie with Superman face looking like Hugo Weaving, right?
He had like the Homer Simpson muzzle to me.
Somebody.
You look like C-Lab.
Somebody deserve a cuttass, right? Somebody deserve a cuttass for that, and you're beaten from a side, from Dan Nelson, everybody. You're telling me this is the man money maker, Henry Cavill, and let me tell you something. Some of us might be vexed with Henry Cavill, but Henry Cavill have a right to behave like a diva, right? Your people end up F with the man image, right?
I think he overreached though. He was wanting them to have less of a role, so he could have more.
Let me tell you something. He have a right to ask for all the money he want, because at the end of the day, they know the bullshit they do. You understand? Look at, he gonna do The Witcher. He do Mission Impossible. You understand? And possibly he might even get a James Bond role too. You understand? You telling me all the monkey with this man image? Just figure this man face? Man, he was right to do it. He was right to behave the way he behaved. You see how he trolled Warner Brothers with the Superman doll? When they say Superman was Henry Cavill was out, he come in, ta-na-na-na-na, ta-na, and raise up the doll and bring it back down. And internet nearly get flattened. Play with Henry Cavill.
It was that was a weird period of time, because it was just like everyone was so cryptic, and it was kind of getting annoying. It's just like, boy.
Maybe that's when Dwayne Johnson called him. He's like, Henry, you need a manager. So
it's like because I think the only one that was forthright really was Sear, and I leave it to Steppenwolf to be the most savage ahead of everyone. We're like, he's just like, that is not the movie we filmed. I hope we get the director's cut.
Exactly.
Hell yeah, that dude's the man.
I know we're going to get. You're gonna see some. People are going to. A lot of people are going to lose their minds. In fact, I saw a reaction. It's one. Right? This girl, when she saw the reaction, she had to pull out her inhaler.
Oh wow!
Whoa!
She had an asthma attack. Oh god,
man! I'm gonna have an asthma attack.
That's pretty sweet.
No, I don't doubt that.
Oh, really?
You know what I mean. My son
it's gonna be like, you know what I mean? It's just like, I don't know. Like, I'm ready, but I'm not ready. You know, it's like,
I know that vibes. Oh boy, I mean, you're looking forward to this thing, and like, I'm not ready. Oh God, but Lord Father, wait this. Too much excitement. You understand?
Well, I can tell you what happens if you want.
No, dude, you're going down. I was about 6'9", you back to San Diego, bro.
I don't know what happens. I don't.
Jeff with the secret sources.
Just all I have are Snydercut thoughts.
Yeah, right. It's like,
I don't doubt that.
I got this. I put puzzles together. I got a 2,000-piece puzzle on the kitchen table. I'm about to start.
Nice.
I'm you know, I know you don't have to see the full picture to know what the next piece looks like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I dig it.
That makes sense.
Ding, ding, ding.
Huh, that timing.
Well, you can't ring that.
Yeah.
It cannot be unrung. But yeah, it's like,
that's when you knock that bottle there. There's a song in Trinidad.
I bet.
Listen, I try to do the song justice. No, listen. Hey, Dad.
Sing it to us.
Oh God, Godfather, give me a second.
Sing to me, Damian. Come on.
You're live, man.
Your bottle half with water. It's bacchanal and manslaughter. Sweet music in the place. That is I got a calypso called Relator. It's a song from
Oh, we got a song like that
from the 70s. Yeah, it's a Christmas tune.
Okay, well, that's what's up.
What I'll do, I'll post the song in the Watchmen chat. I want to look for it now.
Yeah, and I'll post the song, the song where our American version of it in there too.
Yeah, that would be cool. But yeah, I mean, I definitely appreciate you all like coming by. It's like good to chat and
trying to kick us out of here already.
Yeah, I invited it down. Just like it's a 2-hour mark, and basically it's more or less done. It just needs to.
I get to tell you, man. I know the feel.
So I'm just like, I think we're all kind of like just killing time until it's showtime, and cautiously tiptoeing around the timeline because it's about
People
to
been
jump
pretty
off.
cool, dude. I mean,
Yep.
I think Monday is going to pick up on some spoilers, but people have been pretty cool about, pretty chill.
Which I think is that's really cool. It shows like civility because I think everyone understands
exactly what I mean. That civility and the picture we get painted is just makes me sick.
Yeah, it's misunderstood is like the story of like not just like Zach, but like the Snydercut movement. It's like
story of my life.
Yeah, I think that's what draws a lot of us together in this great big merry band of misfits.
Can you not find it, Damien?
Give me a second now. I found it. I'm gonna
cool.
put it in your Watchmen chat now.
So it'll probably be like a minute or two before it gets to America. Hey man, I'm from the 80s, so I remember having dial-up until I was like 20.
It's like the crazy thing is like I've like playing some Mortal Kombat.
Yeah,
it came through.
You see it?
There it is, and there's our version. The best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup. You never.
Good old Americana jingle.
We steal everything.
Oh, cool.
And on that note, your version.
I know.
It's called an homage.
When I heard you sing it, all I heard was that jingle. So I'm just playing with you, Damien. Ideas are a collective. They don't steal. They just get inspired. Like you said, an homage. All right, dudes. Well, I'm going to dip. If you're going to dip.
Yeah, I mean, thank you all for coming by and chatting. Much appreciated.
Glad to be here.
And,
representing. Let's see this hashtag on the 19th.
Hey,
Everyone.
let's do it. I'm down.
All right.
All right. Y'all take it easy.
I think Damien will love it. All right. See ya. Thanks.
Peace.
Thanks for having us, man.
Yeah, no problem.